Hi, Tilty Carlson here. 2025 definitely got off to a rough start with the death of actor Val Kilmer, a personal favorite of mine. And that's why I started digging through my movie collection and I decided to pull out one of my favorites starring Val Kilmer, which I bought when it first came out, but for whatever reason I didn't review the 4K disc at the time. So better late than never, right? Today we're looking at Real Genius. I'm going to unbox this release and share my opinions. Nice art there with close-ups of our characters. There's the spines of the slipcover, back cover. Got the alternate artwork there underneath. I always like it when the slipcover and the cover underneath are actually different. Helps to reduce some of that redundancy, so big thanks to Sony on that part. This does include a digital copy of the film. There's just an ad there for the Movies Anywhere service. We get the film on 4K Ultra High Def, and then we also get a Blu-ray of the film as well. When a group of crazy college geniuses put their heads together, almost anything can happen. Hold on for a freewheeling, uproarious look at just how much mischief a bunch of high IQers can concoct. Chris is the top brain who just wants to party. Mitch is the 16-year-old whiz kid, and Laszlo, America's #1 brain, literally lives in a world of his own, Chris's closet. Supposedly hard at work on a lab project, they still find time to turn the dorm into an ice skating rink, dismantle a car and reassemble it inside, and throw a beach party in the auditorium complete with a lagoon and bikini-clad beauties. When the geniuses discover that their unscrupulous mentor, Professor Hathaway, has had them working on a secret weapon for the military, they plot an elaborate revenge. Their plan culminates in an incredible scheme that outsmarts the military and convinces the professor that it doesn't pay to fool with a real genius. I will admit, I didn't see this movie for the first time until it came out on 4K a few years ago. And I have to say, it's actually pretty entertaining. A lot of movies that revolve around college hijinks tend to be these super raunchy R-rated films. Real Genius tends to have a little bit more of a heart to it. The film is actually only rated PG. It does certainly have a raunch factor to some extent, but nowhere near something like Revenge of the Nerds or Animal House. And I have to say, overall, it's actually a pretty entertaining film. It is bittersweet to go back and watch the late, great Val Kilmer, here portraying a genius in college, but one who certainly likes to party and have a good time. Certainly a man who's the best of both worlds. And we have a young 15-year-old who's brought into the program as well, much to the chagrin of a lot of the other folks, but he quickly wins most of them over, including a nerdy girl in the group portrayed by Michelle Mayrink. Mayrink had previously portrayed the character Judy in the original Revenge of the Nerds. And the antagonistic college professor who they're forced to help with this project, not knowing what its actual use is portrayed by William Atherton. He, of course, having portrayed the antagonistic mayor in the Ghostbusters films. So you do get a pretty nice cast here, and production values are pretty solid throughout. This movie manages to make you laugh, but it also manages to do it without going too far off the deep end. I do love seeing these, movies where the underdogs triumph, where the nerds are the cool guys. These days in the real world, the nerds pretty much are the cool guys, but back in the 80s, that was a relatively novel concept. And it's great to go back and see something like this in that era. The movie is certainly not a masterpiece. I wouldn't say it's the greatest comedy I've ever seen, but it is certainly a lot of fun, and it's always great to go back and watch the late, great Val Kilmer doing what he does best. He was one of those guys that could do a little bit of everything, and Real Genius certainly shows off his comedic acting chops. I did have a great time watching this one again. Real Genius on 4K actually looks pretty good. All the natural film grain is intact. The Dolby Vision makes the colors bright, bold, and beautiful. But you get lots of shadow detail and deeper, darker black levels as well. This never feels like it's been digitally enhanced, noise reduced, or anything like that. Probably the only issues are that there's a few, things like matte paintings and effect shots that understandably don't look the best, but that's just par for the course when you're working with elements like that. This does include a Blu-ray copy of the film. I don't know if the Blu-ray was remastered or not, because again, I've never owned this film on any format prior to this 4K release, but the Blu-ray copy also includes a commentary track, a deleted scene, and an alternate television version of the movie as well. Overall, this is a very solid package. The movie's pretty funny. Seeing Val Kilmer in action is always a delight, and it's a great way to pay tribute to him following his passing earlier this year. I do wish there was a little more in the way of bonus features, but the picture quality is top-notch as well, so I can easily give this Real Genius 4K a recommendation. How about you? What do you think of Real Genius? Do you think it's one of the best performances from Val Kilmer? Comment down below, and then there's your think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos, and make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. See you next time.